Bosch just released this very nice design called the BVMS System Design Guide for their most current version of BVMS. But before we dig into exactly what that is, can you, for my sake and everyone's sake out there, describe to us what BVMS is, who manufactures it, and what it does?
Absolutely, and I agree. This is a terrific resource that we have now, but it's for BVMS, which is Bosch Video Management System. So that is Bosch's video management system for managing video from 32 cameras up to enterprise level, well over 2,000 cameras. So that is what BVMS is. It allows you to manage any number of cameras within a system for recording, live view, those type of things. But this is, I like this resource so much is because it's an educational tool. And as I think you and I both know, people like to get their information in different ways. Some people like to have those resources and try to design a system on their own or pick out the parts and pieces, and they're very good at learning and educating themselves on their own and approaching a system design that way. Of course, to make things perhaps easier for some people, we have a team of 12 people that are happy to help if you want to just pick up the phone and call us and talk through that application. If you want to meet at a site and have a deeper dive, we're here to have all those deep conversations about bandwidth requirements, camera requirements, what is required of your video management system, how many viewing locations, all of that information. So it just depends on how people want to get their information, and this is a great resource to help with that.
All right, so let's back up. BVMS is a software platform.
Correct.
Okay, and it's available how for people to use it for their video surveillance, but how can I buy it, right? Like, is it just software, or how complex is it? How simple is it?
Yeah. So that is a great question. BVMS, Bosch Video Management System, is a software. It's for managing your video cameras. What is nice about this product is we use the same software, BVMS, for a small 32 camera application as we would for a 2,000 camera airport, let's say. So we have in the small realm, entry level, a small appliance called the DVAR IP3000.
And that's what I have on the screen right now.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, the small cube is preloaded with 32 camera licenses, and it's also available with different storage capabilities as well. So we just add cameras to that, attach that to the network, and attach our cameras to the network. The larger version that you see there is rack mounted, and it is scalable up to 128 cameras. It has a little more features for a larger system. For instance, you can see the storage that is there is RAID. So it can be configured as RAID storage, so we can protect our video, rack mounted. And it is also more scalable, not only with camera count, but with storage. In one box, we can do up to 128 terabytes of storage with one of those arrays that you see there. So, and then we can just keep adding storage on top of it. So it's very scalable from a small 32 camera application up to 128, which would be obviously a medium-sized application. Another compelling part of this, if you buy BVMS in this fashion, and we call it an all-in-one appliance, because with these boxes, you get the video management system, VRM, the recording manager, your storage. So all you have to do is really hook a monitor, mouse, and keyboard to it, and you have a complete system. Okay. There's also no SMAs required for these. So software maintenance agreements.
Okay. Usually an annual basis. And
exactly. And that's common in our industry with lots of software out there, whether it's access control or video. But these devices in this smaller format, no SMAs. So that's a big plus for those two devices.
Okay, but in the background, it's the same software as what you referred to as enterprise, right? So I'll pull that one up.
Correct. So Bosch Video Management System is the same whether we're talking about 32 cameras or, again, a 2,000 camera airport, which does make it nice in that we have one software platform to handle all of our applications. The only difference would be some systems might be a little more sophisticated, and we might use more of the feature set in the larger systems than a 32 camera system. feature sets I'm referring to might be dynamic mapping. Maybe a larger system because it's such wide and spread out. We want to start using maps to help locate where cameras are located, where parking lots are, and associated cameras. So that is very user definable and a great feature with BVMS is the dynamic mapping.
But also available in those small format boxes as well, those appliances.
Correct. So you get the same features of, again, that I keep saying it, but a 2,000 camera airport, the same power in that 32 camera device or that 32 camera appliance.
And so when our partners are out there or end users that are interested in providing a new solution for their video surveillance or a solution if it's a new facility, they are, you referred to this earlier when we got started, that people want to do their own homework. Mm-hmm. So this system design guide is being added on to things that we've already had. So when somebody was thinking about a Bosch video management system or Genetec or anybody else, and we'll get to who those others are in a little bit, mm-hmm. What is the common path that people take to learn about these systems as far as the resources we have and what they can do online?
Sure. So obviously, because people like to get their information in different fashions, I mean, on the Bosch website, there's lots of documentation. Of course, we do have this Bosch document as well, but that is available online. Great resource. There's also
this is a very highly technical document, right? I mean, so if we're at mm-hmm. the early stages and we're not perhaps working with IT yet or something like that, we might need a resource that's a little more basic.
Correct. So a site survey document, we might want to start out with that, determining what the requirements are of the facility. I mean, we have to start obviously with what risks are we trying to mitigate, what problems is the customer trying to solve, and then we're going to deploy electronic devices to mitigate those threats. So how many cameras are we talking about? Is there an intrusion system that needs to be integrated with? What does access control look like? Because integration is big in the security world. It's typically mandatory. So we have to know what all these disparate systems are and look like before we really approach our design. So certainly having a conversation, finding out what we're trying to accomplish, how many cameras are required, what type of storage we're looking for, and what other systems we need to integrate with is going to get us started down that path. And we have resources for that online, as the documentation for
what I have on the screen is our video or our security solutions quick reference guide as an example.
Correct. So lots of these online on the Mid-Chest website, and of course our team is here to make sure you don't miss any of the questions that you need to be asking, so that they're available by phone or obviously to attend the meeting and work with the customer to ask all the right questions.
So we have a handful of guys out in the field that can come to a facility and help with that site survey like you were discussing, you, Steve, and a bunch of the other guys that can do that. And then there's a team at the office. So if somebody just wants to call and ask a quick question, or they can chat on our website, they can get answers very quickly from them as well.
Correct. If there's another way you want to get information, let us know if we're missing something. But I think we try to have all the bases covered.
I think we do. You can chat, email, text us on our phones. There's no shortage of ways to get a hold of this group. Exactly. And then all of this information that we're talking about, we're bantering back and forth about, in the text that's associated with this video are all the links to get to these documents, to get to our phone numbers and our email addresses and all that kind of stuff. So going back to this new design guide, I looked through it. It's something like 36 pages. And what I thought was really cool about it is it's not just about the enterprise size of BVMS. It includes also the DVAR, the small box appliances that you were talking about. So really, while it's a fairly technical document, it does cover all the options as well.
Yeah, exactly. And I think the thing is, our industry has changed over the years. Cameras have become less expensive. They are deployed in greater frequency. So, a 30 camera system might have been a large system years ago, and now it's easy to have 60, 100, whatever that camera count is. But the point is that we have a product specifically for that number of cameras. And the as I'm saying, the camera counts tend to start to grow now because threats are never decreasing and the cost of deploying cameras has become more economical. So these systems have grown in size, and we have an appliance or a device to handle that specific camera quantity.
Well, from an outsider's perspective, this could sound quite daunting. It's good to know that our team is positioned geographically around the Mid-Atlantic region, so we're not too far away. And of course, email, telephone, we're just a couple clicks away. So I appreciate you going through kind of this new release this new resource that Bosch has put out for us and for our partners. And
I want to add, if I could,
sure.
You had mentioned it earlier too. So BVMS is Bosch's video management system, and it is.
We forgot to circle back around. Sorry.
It's a great end-to-end solution. Some customers are looking for that, meaning one manufacturer to deal with a complete end-to-end solution with one manufacturer. However, Bosch works very well and partners very closely with most of the third-party VMS manufacturers on the market. We have a team at Bosch that is constantly testing our cameras and working with the other manufacturers. And these leading VMS manufacturers in the industry, as you probably know, are Milestone, Genetec, ONSSI, Ametis. The list goes on and on. But our goal is to, in a way, be VMS agnostic. Bosch has great imaging products, and whether you choose an end-to-end BVMS solution or you choose to partner with Genetec, Milestone, any of these other VMS third-party manufacturers, we are happy to support that system. We work very closely with these other manufacturers. So the difference between a BVMS and some of the third-party manufacturers, the third-party manufacturers, for instance, a Genetec, Milestone, they make software to work with every manufacturer's camera on the market. So they do a better job at bringing into a central management piece of software many disparate camera manufacturers. So it allows an end user not to just have just the ability to use one particular manufacturer. Perhaps you want to use a variety of different camera technologies, or in the future, I want to select other cameras to connect to my system because based on a certain technology that is appealing or can solve a problem. So our third-party partners in the VMS world really allow us to support lots of different technologies. And these are all conversations we have when we go down the system design path. What does it look like in the future for your system? We certainly do not want to push an agenda that narrows it to just a scope of only being in a Bosch, world. So
yeah, I mean, obviously we're here to help solve a problem, not force somebody, like you said, down a specific path. Now, that's not to say that you can't have some third-party cameras come into a Bosch system.
Correct.
I feel like the overriding concept is, Mr. Security Professional, what are you trying to accomplish? Step one. Number two, what do you already have in place?
Correct.
Number three, and when I say what do you have in place, what kind of cameras, what kind of recording do you already have? Number three, what is integrated currently? So is your access control integrated to your video? And then I've lost track of my account, so I'll just say number D would be what's going to happen in the future. What systems are you going to bring in? What kind of cameras? So if you take those 4 or 5 concepts, then that's what drives whether it's a BVMS system or a Genetec or Milestone or any of the others that are available in the market.
Absolutely, and we have that conversation, and it's we do what is in the best interest of the customer, and using the word future-proofing their system, and we want to make sure we deploy something that's going to last them for many years and is the right choice for them, and we lay out all the options.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm glad that you picked up that we had left off that third-party discussion. It probably could have kicked off this conversation because it's that important. The mix of manufacturers on the video side of things, and then the integration of all the different disparate systems to bring them into one kind of unified platform for the customer.
Well, it's so important to Bosch that they have on their website a link where you can see all the manufacturers we integrate with, these third-party VMSs, and to what level, what camera version. So we take it very seriously, the relationship with third-party manufacturers, and it's all published on our website, how deeply we integrate.
Cool. Well, at the end of the day, overarching messages, we're here to help. Whether we reference this new system design guide or come out to your facility, it all depends upon what works best for the customer, what works best for the integrator, and we're here to help.
Absolutely. We're here to help.
All right. Nick, thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Hey, have a good afternoon, Matt. Thanks.
All right. Yep.
See ya.